Good morning, all of you. My dear students, I hope you stay well. So, I am Imali Marasinghe at Chilau Anand National School. Today I am going to do a grammar lesson that is called the passive voice. Under the passive voice, I will do the simple past tense. First of all, my dear children, I am not going to introduce you the structures. I will introduce the irregular verbs list, because this verb list may help you to find what is past participle, what is past simple, and what is infinitive. So children, I am not going to introduce or explain all the verbs here. For an example, I will get drink, drank, drunk. The infinitive word is drink and the past form is drank and the past participle form is drunk. Another example, speak, spoke, spoken. There are three parts of verbs: infinitive, past participle, and the past simple. So, you want to go through this verb list because when you are writing the answers, okay? I am going to move to another table that is called subject pronoun and object pronoun. Then, if the subject pronoun is I, the object pronoun is me. If the subject pronoun is we, the object pronoun is us. If the subject pronoun is you, the object pronoun is you. If the subject pronoun is they, the object pronoun is them. If the subject pronoun is he, the object pronoun is him. She, her, it. You want this one when you turn active voice to passive voice and also the passive voice to active voice. Now, when I tell these things, I think you might not understand what I say. Then after the lesson, you will understand what is this table. Okay? Then the teacher is going to introduce some structures. The structures are two types. One is structures for positive sentences. First of all, my dear children, I am going to introduce the positive sentences. Let's see what are the positive sentences. The active voice is the structure for active voice is subject plus verb plus object. Here the teacher has mentioned past form within brackets. Can you remember, my children? I told you when I introduced the irregular verb list, I told you there are three kinds of verbs. One is infinitive and the second one is past form and the third one is past participle form. So here in active voice we use subject plus verb plus object. Verb means past participle form. Remind it, please. Then I am going to introduce what is the structure for positive. So passive voice, positive structure. Now you are going to learn what is the passive voice for given active voice. Let's learn how to make the passive voice structure. Then the subject of an active voice become the doer. Again I will show you the subject become the doer. Then the doer means the person who does the, or the person who did the action. Then the verb changed like this: was over plus past participle verb. If the subject is singular, you use was. If the subject is plural, you use verb and past participle verb. Then the last one, object become the subject. If the object of the active voice become the subject of the passive voice. Okay, then I'm going to move to learn the structures for negative sentences. What is the teacher doing? The structures for negative sentences. You have already learnt about positive sentences. Now you are going to learn the structure for negative. The active voice is made like this: subject plus did not plus verb plus object. Here I have mentioned within brackets as infinitive. It means, can you remember earlier I told you there are three types of verbs can give divided into three. One is infinitive, the second one is past form, and the other one is past participle. Here we use the infinitive of the verb. Now can you remind that again? In positive active voice we used past form of the verb. Here we use the infinitive of the verb because we use did not. Then the passive voice negative structure is subject plus was not, or you can say wasn't, were not, or you can say weren't, plus past participle plus the doer. If the subject is singular, you can use was not. If the subject is plural, you can use were not. Then the subject of the active voice become the doer. Then the verb changed like this: was not, or were not plus past participle. Then the object of the active voice become the subject of the passive voice. Then you can make a structure like this: subject plus was not, or were not plus past participle verb plus the doer. Is it clear for you, my dear students? Now let's see the examples. Can you see what are they doing? Can you see the picture? The small children are doing something. Okay, let's see. Here we use the past form now. So active voice is we wrote letters. Now I am going to categorize this sentence as we means subject of the sentence. Wrote means the verb. Verb means past form of the verb. So letters is the object of the sentence. So can you remember? Subject become the doer, verb changed was over plus past participle, object become the subject. Can you remember? Let's see. Subject become the, yes, the arrow is showing the subject become the doer. The verb becomes was over plus past participle. Then the object become the subject. So here the object is letters. So letters are the letters means the plural subject. So we can use letters were written by us. Letters means the plural one, so we use were, and past participle means write, wrote, written, so we use written, and the doer is we. We can't use by we. Can you remember the table I introduced you? So can you remember we, us, then by us. Letters were written by us. Let's go to another example. Can you say, look at the picture. The girl has given a pen to him. Okay, let's see. I gave him a pen. The action has already done. So then we are going to, the active voice is I gave him a pen. My students, be care about this sentence. First of all, you have to categorize what is subject, what is verb, and what is object clearly. If it is not, you can't write the correct answer. So I means subject, gave means the verb. What is the object? What are you thinking? Him or a pen? Here the object is him, not a pen. Be care about that sentence. I gave him a pen. Then can you remember the subject become the doer? The verb changed, was over plus past participle. The object become the subject. So the object here, the object is him. So him, you can't start the sentence as him. You have to write what is the subjective pronoun of him. What is the subjective pronoun of him? The answer is he. Yes, he. The subject is singular, so you use was, and past participle verb. Infinitive is give, past form is gave, and past participle form is given. Then you can say what is given is a pen. Then you can mention a pen, but who is the doer? I. Then you can say he was given a pen by I. You have to use the objective pronoun of I. It is me. The answer is he was given a pen by me. The active voice is she did not color the picture. So here the negative form is used. Then subject is she, did not color is the verb, and the object is the picture. Most of the students, not you, most of the students do this wrong activity. What is it? If there are definite and indefinite articles before the nouns, some students, they omit it, or they forget it, or they forget it. They take only the picture as the subject. But be careful, if there are some articles before the nouns, you must get them with the noun. Then the structure for the passive voice is subject plus wasn't or weren't plus past participle plus the doer. Then the subject become the doer. The verb changed as wasn't or weren't plus past participle. The object become the subject. Here the object is the picture. So you have to begin the sentence with the picture. The picture means it is singular. Then you use was. Then here this is a negative sentence, so you have to use not. Then the past participle verb is colored. Infinitive is color, and the past participle is colored. Here the subject becomes the object. Subject is she. The objective pronoun of the she is her. So the answer is the picture was not colored by her. Then, my dear students, I think you have already learnt about negative and positive structures for both active voice and the passive voice. Now I am going to evaluate you by giving activities. Okay, now you are going to do these activities. So now get ready your textbook and the workbook. The first activity is activity 12 on the page number 55 of your textbook. The question is transform the following into the passive, or the active voice has given, then you have to transform into the passive voice. Then also activity 2, that is activities 6 and 7 in unit 5 of your workbook. There are two activities. One is for the same as activity 1 and the other one is fill in the blanks in a paragraph. Okay. Then activity 3, turn the following sentences into passive voice. The teacher has given you an example. We played cricket. First of all, when you meet these types of questions, first of all, what you have to do, you have to categorize the sentence as subject plus verb plus object. You have to understand what is the subject, what is the verb, what is the object correctly. Here the subject is we, played means verb, cricket means object. So object becomes subject. So you start the sentence like cricket. Then cricket means singular one, then you use was. Then can you remember the structure? Subject plus was or verb plus past participle plus the doer. That is the structure for the passive voice. Then you can write cricket was played, then the doer is us. The second one, she baked a cake. Then you have to follow the first method, then write the answers. You didn't sing songs. Rashim closed the doors. The villagers repaired the bridge. They promoted him to a higher post. In sixth of sentence, understand what is the subject, verb and what is the object correctly. Okay. Rex and Walton didn't arrange the hall. The seller sold all the cakes. We didn't complete the repairs. My friend broke a plate yesterday. So this is the activity 3. Get a piece of paper and write the answers. I am going to introduce activity 4. The question is, change the following sentences from the passive into the active voice. What you have to do? The passive is given. You have to change the passive into active. Now, remind about those two structures. Okay. For I have given you an example sentence. We were invited by my teacher. Here also you have to understand what is subject, what is verb and what is object. Here the object is my teacher, object becomes subject, so you can start the sentence with my teacher, then Can you remember the active voice of the structure of the active voice? Subject plus verb plus object. Then my teacher is the subject, verb is invited, us means the object. Like that, follow the method, then write the answers. Okay. Now my children, hope you understood about the simple past of the passive voice. So, see you soon. Thank you. Have a nice day and stay safe. Goodbye.